I didn't even see it.
Because of how you have it.
What? You already had 2 snacks. Rylan, do you want to go to bed? I'm going to take that fidget spinner. Goodbye.
You're not hungry, you're bored. You're not hungry, you're bored.
All right. So the kids could be coming down here a lot because Caleb is looking for his water bottle and Rylan is apparently hungry. So anyways, let us know you guys are on. Say hey, maybe where you're coming from. So, all right. So tonight we're going to talk about, sorry.
Oh, so you just won't cut me out. That's cool. No.
So we're going to talk about communication tonight. This is a huge factor. Hey, what's up, Missy? It's a big thing with relationships. So I think we kind of just briefly talked a little bit, like we would talk about communication in our relationship first. So I guess maybe you should go first and talk about how you feel communication in our relationship is, and I'll share my point of view, and then we can share about the importance of it, and then questions, comments, concerns, anything you guys want to ask us, let us know.
Our communication is great.
He's a big liar. It's not bad.
Oh, no, I know him. When it comes to communication in our relationship, it was could be. It was doo-doo butter at the beginning, of course. My biggest issue was, like, I don't know what we interpret like communicating. Like, what were we communicating? Hola.
Communication in general.
In general.
Like talking about stuff that's bothering us.
Okay. Well, in that case, yeah. At the beginning, communication was doo-doo butter because Heather would not communicate something until it was bubbling inside of her, and then it would just all burst out at one time. And that's just annoying as fuck. So in terms of communication, like with our relationship, that was a crappy portion of it, is when when you hold something in and you don't actually talk about your feelings and how and whatnot at the time.
We just started, Garrett.
Well, yeah, we just started. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, the communication was crap at the first, just because she would hold things in until the last second, and then it would all come out at one time, and then that would start a big old fight.
Okay, so now I'm going to share why.
Oh my God, I don't want to bother him with my feelings.
No. So yeah, communication is it's very important, but at the same time, for me, communicating with him was very difficult, and sometimes it still is. One thing I used to do in the past was like nitpick about, I feel like I'm like not even in the frame.
There we go.
Thank you. I feel like how do I put this? I don't want to nitpick on things, so I have learned.
You can't nitpick.
I know, and everything. There's always things that are going to drive you nuts about your partner in every relationship, but it's whether is it good crazy or bad crazy that you can. You don't have a hat.
I know.
So you can't. But to be honest, communicating with him was very hard, and sometimes it still is. And yes, and I'm gonna explain because I've explained this to you before. I sometimes feel like, and it could be my wording, because when you're getting ready to talk about something that's bothering you, you're not always prepping ahead of how you should talk about things. It just kind of comes out, and I think he used to get really defensive about things, and I feel like he feels like he's being attacked by me, which isn't the case. It's just, okay, I feel like this, and then sometimes I would feel like he wouldn't validate my feelings or tell me you're stupid for feeling that way. Yes, you have done that.
No. See, that's saying what I explained to her, and I'll explain over and over again, but it never goes through, is that I don't get mad. I never got mad at her. I'll put this in your mouth and it's going to ruin your macros. Like, That's what he said. But, like, I would never get mad at her for expressing her feelings. I got mad at the fact that she bottled everything up until the last second, and then everything comes out in the air at one time. And that's what pissed me off.
Right, so you shouldn't do that. If something's bothering you, you need to say it then. And it goes back to what we were talking about with trust yesterday, is being able to communicate when the incident is happening, okay? Don't bring up something that happened 6 months ago because you want to talk about it now. You have to bring it up while it's happening. And just be mindful of how you're talking, because you don't want it to end up going into a blow up, it would end up blowing up like crazy. He would start yelling at me, and he'd always be like, "Okay, you need to listen."
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I have a real mean voice.
Yes.
And
that's why I get nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, if this pisses him off, he's gonna
because being in the military has made me an angry person, and not so much as an angry person, but
I think you get defensive unintentionally, and you've got to explain yourself, and you just do it loudly.
No, I get defensive because, like I said, everything comes out at once, and I feel like I'm being attacked. But when I would get mad and yell because I felt like she wasn't understanding, and so I would get defensive, and I would yell. And I told her to shut the fuck up a lot. So, I mean, that's honest truth. You know, so that's a big thing with communicating, is that when...
Keep going.
Okay. Main thing is that whenever something is up, whenever you feel like something is off, whenever something is annoying you, don't think about it all day, and then right before, because, like, first of all, if your significant other knows you well enough, they're gonna know something's wrong. They're gonna know something. Like Heather knows. I know her well enough. Like, I know when something's wrong. I know when something's off, and so I will bug the shit out of her until she comes out about it, and which will piss her off even more than what she's already pissed off about whatever it is that's bothering her. So you, like I said, you need to not be waiting until the last moment to where you're building up your pissed offness and you're and just being annoyed and mad for whatever reason.
Because then other stupid shit comes out, and then so Garrett, you're asking, our main issue is trying to dominate in an argument. How do you two cope with trying to listen? The truth is, for a while,
we have a flex off. I win every time.
Actually, look at that.
Damn! All right, never mind. That looked good.
With us, with me,
Exactly, Garrett. You're tired and you don't want to deal with that shit. I understand.
That's what I would do.
And I'm tired, which is going to make me more pissed off because
I would bring up I would tell him all day everything's fine, and then at bed I'd be like, "Are you fucking serious?" And part of that, I guess a lot of women feel like the guy should be able to read their minds. And no.
I was reading your fucking, I knew something was wrong.
Right.
But
it goes back to, you have to feel comfortable being able to communicate. And I think with me, even if he gets defensive, even if I know, okay, this could potentially end up in a screaming fight and he's going to be mad at me for bringing this up or be like, whatever, I have to get it off my chest. Otherwise, it's going to get a million times worse. There is no dominating. One thing that I have tried to live by is don't go to bed angry, because for me, anytime we have gone to bed angry, which it's very rare for the most part, I wake up still pissed off, if not even more mad that the issue wasn't resolved. So don't go to bed angry, and try, if you can sense you're starting to yell, I would call him out on it and be like, "You're screaming at me," and he'd be like, "It's because you're not listening."
Yeah, because you're not listening.
But it's you try. I did retry. That's exactly right, Fawn. But try to keep it calm. Granted, that's not always going to happen. But also remember that fights are normal. It's going to happen, and it's going to feel awkward after. It might feel awkward the next day. And you're like,
I say that's how you grow as a couple. You there's going to be stuff that annoys both of you. Something's going to piss both of you off. It's just a whole part of growing in a relationship. Like, you're going to learn what bothers her. She's going to learn what annoys the fuck out of you, what you don't like, or whatever. And as long as it's not,
it's like, how much crazy can you deal with in the relationship?
yeah, but it's like, what am I trying to think of a word? Dominate your significant other's life in terms of what they can and cannot do. Because they're still going to be their own person, but if there's actually something that they're doing that's actually legitimately wrong or just annoying you, then do you do that? Yeah. Then if they're just wrong, bring it up. Talk about it, discuss it. Yeah, like you said, it may be a little awkward for like a couple minutes, whatever. But like, really things aren't ever awkward for me. Like, I go from like one
extreme to the next.
Well, not really extreme. I go from one emotion to another. Like, we could argue. We just get done arguing, and right when we're done, as long as we talked about it and discussed it, I can go right back to me, my sarcastic ass self, and be okay.
And yes, Garrett, we swear in our normal daily life talking all the time.
Start dropping S's and F bombs. And there are sentence enhancers. The swear words are sentence enhancers to really express how you feel. As long as
you're not calling someone like if
you like, you stupid fucking cunt bitch.
That would be
eat
bad.
my ass.
I mean, that's probably been said in an argument, but I don't think either one of us has called anybody.
No, we haven't called each other name.
But we swear all the time. We swear in our normal, sentence enhancers. But we swear all the time in our normal talk. But like last night, we had to have a little conversation about something I got upset about yesterday. We talked for probably 2 minutes, and it was done and over with, and it was calm, and
I put my penis in her. If you want any quick solutions, put your penis in her. That helps any situation.
Red is hot in the house. Now I know why sometimes we have sex, because I'm in a bad mood.
No, we don't fight in front of the kids.
Yeah, no. Like I said, we rarely argue. I really don't. I think since we were even pregnant with Silas, we maybe gotten into maybe 1 or 2 big arguments.
Yeah, that's because she was pregnant. So you're not pregnant anymore, today.
But we haven't really had a yelling argument since then. But yeah, we would not ever argue in front of the kiddos. Usually if something is brought up, they're usually at their dad's or it's at night. But that is a big thing for me, is I don't want the kids to see that, and I don't think kids should ever see it. And I understand when you get so frustrated, you want to get it all out, and you can't wait until the kids are in bed, but you really need to, because the kids don't need to see it. Like, I grew up with my parents. My dad was an alcoholic. My mom is a psychotic person, and I hope she's not on here. I don't think she is.
She still
and she won't, hopefully not, but my aunt might. But they would get out into all-out fights. There were knives threatened. I mean, we had the police officers called at our house all the time.
Same.
So it's not something I want my kids to grow up in. How my sister and I turned out the way we did, I don't know. My sister is a little nuts, but what was that look for?
I need popcorn.
But yeah, no fighting in front of the kids. So, but anybody have any other questions or anything they want? But I do want to say, if you do not have good communication and you feel you cannot communicate, you need to reevaluate that, because it's something that I've had to think about. Like, there's times I'm like, I just don't feel like I can communicate this with him, or oh, I need to wait for this time. But the truth of the matter is, you have to get it out right then and there. Otherwise, it's going to just make things a million times worse. A million times worse. Like I said, we've been in a huge blow up because of something that I could have prevented by speaking up 10 hours prior. So,
Garrett, just to, I don't think we already talked about it.
what?
That you asked
What?
about you and Karen try to dominate one another in the conversation. It's not an argument. Think about argument as a I can't even think of this word I'm thinking of, but it's more of a discussion than an argument when it's done right. Meaning it's not held on to the last second and it gets brought up and then becomes a big old blowout. It's you're what was like two people there. They're the compromise is a word I'm looking for. There has to be compromise in a relationship, and to do that, you cannot try to dominate one another in the conversation, because then someone's going to want to feel like they won the argument, that they were right, you were wrong, blah 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 blah. So what you need to do is be able to sit down, have a discussion about whatever the issue is. You know, hey, I saw you talking to so-and-so and you guys look like you're getting really too friendly, or you ate the last fucking cookie and we need to have a discussion about it. But yeah, it really needs to be a sit down, talk with each other, do not try to dominate, and compromise.
And if somebody wants to talk, and this is another thing with him, is I'm
just kidding. Go ahead.
If I want to talk about something, my biggest fear is to be like, all right, we need to talk, because he's going to instantly do what? Don't do that. Don't do that, because it makes the communication intimidating and a fear of doing that. And hold on first.
Yeah.
Do we communicate right away or give it time by giving space? I really think it just depends on the situation. Like when we were first together and things would blow up, he would call his best friend and they'd go out for the night. Remember you used to go out with Anthony and go drink? There's a few times he would go drink. Yeah, he would go out and go drink, and then he'd come back and he'd be perfectly fine. So I think space is also important depending upon what the situation. He's eating my food.
No.
That motherfucker tried to eat my popcorn earlier during my macros. Yeah, it's not okay. So it really is going to be situation dependent. If it's something it's going to be heated, take time. But the biggest thing is be open about it. Like even saying it may piss the other person off. Look, this is going to drive me. We're going to end up, things are going to hit the fan, whatever, and leave. Because if you feel it's going to blow up, it's probably best to give it some space. And yeah, and you need to try not to interrupt, because I know that we'll do that. Like you can tell when the other person's ready to say something, but it's important to listen 150% and get it out there. And then if you have a question, ask the question and then let them respond, because you'll eventually get it all out. It may end up being a longer conversation, but you'll get your point across, hopefully. And I think my biggest tip with this is, I'm sure most people have their communication talks and their arguments at night. Really try to not go to bed angry. I can't tell you how awful it feels to have to pick something back up in the morning. Or if you feel your conversation is finished, but deep down something is still bothering you, even though it may make them nuts to be like, we're still talking about this, just get it off your chest, because once you get it off, you'll feel so much better. And ultimately, I know when you're communicating, you're not so much worried about the other person's feelings. Like there's things when I've had to say stuff that are bothering me, which I know are probably going to piss him off. I can't worry about it pissing him off. I have to say, this is how it makes me feel right now. And if it makes you angry, like yesterday when we were talking and when I was texting him, I was like, are you mad about this? Even though he wasn't mad, he says he wasn't mad, I don't know. He was a smart ass back to me.
Just do text.
And then when we were talking last night about, because he said, we'll talk about it when I get home. everything was perfectly fine. It took 2 seconds, and we talked about it, and that was it. No, you cannot sugarcoat anything because it's not going to do you any good because it's just going to bottle up and stay in there longer, and then it's going to repeat like we shared last time we were talking about not being repetitive in your arguments unless the situation isn't resolved. So say your significant other is consistently flirting with somebody else and you're constantly bringing it up because it's not stopping, that's okay. But if it stops, don't bring it up 6 months later. Well, remember when you were flirting with this person? It's not, you don't do that. What do you need?
Oh, nothing.
Really?
Yeah. It's okay.
Do you have something to say?
That's how we do it. Just like this.
What?
Sex.
That's how we have sex? That's how we have sex, I'm worried.
When you were doing it, I was doing it.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that on here.
I did
Luckily,
say it.
nobody commented on it.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett said it. But it wasn't, it was, the sex was before the talk.
So, did you have sex with me because you knew I was upset?
No, I had sex with you because I wanted to.
Okay.
Well, it was right before the talk.
So now, are there times that you've had sex with me because you know I've been upset about something?
Hell no.
Just curious. Missy, you will what? Sorry, I can't remember what we said. Cause
You will sugarcoat it, or...
Oh, you will sugarcoat it? Cause
or you will have sex. Which one?
well, it's delayed.
Oh, yeah,
So,
I know,
like,
yeah.
they're, like, probably a minute behind. But does anybody have any other questions regarding communication or anything you want to ask us personally about or share that we can comment on before we sign off? We probably won't go live again until, well, tomorrow obviously is Mother's Day, and then tomorrow he's off Monday.
So we can do that.
Are we going to have, I forgot what it's called,
CC's.
CC's Pizza.
We're going to have something good that I don't remember.
It's cheat meal day. Because CC's Pizza, I don't know if you guys have seen the commercials, but they have deep dish pizzas now. You guys, CC's Pizza is the shit. Okay, back to the going to bed.
Often and usually pick up when I go to work. Where's you?
I mean, if that's what works for you guys, Garrett, then I guess that's what works. But I personally, from a woman's point of view, and most women I know, do not want to go to bed angry because they wake up even more pissed off. So even if you're tired at 1 o'clock in the morning and it's going to drive you nuts, I think you both will feel better if you can fully get it out. So do you two ever go to bed angry? Yeah, we haven't in a long time. Most of the stuff that's happened in our relationship was prior pregnancy to Silas, so way long time ago. One of our instances... Oh, your mom's on. It always makes me nervous when a family member is jump on.
No more sex talk.
Gosh, I know, but... but when we were...
You missed out, Mom.
When we were having issues before, there was stuff that I was consistently bringing up because it wasn't being resolved and it was, to me, disrespectful. I would go to bed angry all the time. And there was even a time I woke him up and was like, this is going on. It wasn't handled right. Back then, we were not handling... Yes, Lisa, he embarrassed me. He always does. Don't even say anything. If you're thinking what I'm thinking.
If someone asks a question. No.
It's on the internet now. I know it's on the internet. But yeah, it's... How we handle it is not good. How we handle things in the past is not good. It ends up blowing up even more the next day because if you're sleeping on it, you're probably not sleeping anyway, and then you wake up and you're just ready to... You're even more pissed. So again, try to get it out there when you can. If not, it's going to make things worse.
Okay, the response to I'm fine or whatever's, I've never given that answer. It's all her that gives that.
No, you have.
No, I haven't. If I was fine, then yeah, I'll give it. I'm fine or whatever. But like,
you're never like in a bad mood though.
Exactly, I'm awesome. But anyways, the I'm fine whatever's. I make it known. No. Who was it? Jen?
Yeah, Jen.
Yeah, Jen. Jen, I make it known. Like, finally, like, I got learned up. I know you're not fine. So it's like, I told her, like, I'm gonna keep bothering you until you tell me what's wrong.
He does, and there was one time
I'll annoy the hell out of her.
he'll leave for work and then he'll text me like right as he walks out the door too. So it's just sometimes like, I know for me it could be something stupid that is not worth talking about, or I just need time to get over it, which probably isn't smart either. You should probably still talk about it anyway, because it eventually could come back and piss you off later. But yeah, he will keep pressuring me. So
because you're gonna find out one way or another, and the way I see it is, like I said, I hate when things get bottled up into the last second when you're about to go to bed, and it comes out of freaking nowhere. And so yeah, I will, to avoid that, I will annoy her until she tells me what is wrong, what happened. You know, whether it's my doing or someone else's doing, she's in a bad mood, whatever.
yes, your mom is right. We totally overthink things. My aunt tells me that all the time.
Yeah, I know, and I'm here to help you underthink things.
The one thing I will say that Brandon is abnormal. He is probably well, everybody knows you're weird, but he is probably, and I don't remember who I was talking to about this before, but he generally is never in a bad mood. Like, let me talk.
I didn't say anything.
It sounded like you were going to.
I agreed.
Okay. You know how sometimes you just wake up and like the world, you just wake up in a pissed off mood. I don't think he ever has since I've been with him. We've been together almost 2.5 years. He's always in a really good mood. So for me, sometimes I'm like, I can't be down, or if I'm quiet, he'll think that there's something wrong with me. And it's not necessarily that there's something wrong with me. It's just like, I kind of woke up on the wrong side of the bed. It happens, but he never.
He's on the same side of the bed every freaking morning. I don't know how you.
Well, sometimes your pillow is smothering me because it's like pushed up. Mine are ended up on the side, like in the hole.
I'm being cuddled up with you.
I know. Okay, let's see. I used to do it too, and my ex would seek me out. Yes, Jen, you're right. You get so mad because you're like, just shut the fuck up. I don't want to talk to you about it right now, and that's the problem. Even if you don't want to talk about it right now, just get it over with. There is, honestly, when you sit and think about it when you're not mad, there's no reason to not say anything. There really isn't. You guys have been, cousin and I have been together 10 years, and we are not at all. Oops, hold on. Sorry, Fawn. I'm trying to click on the Seymour. And we are not at all stars at communicating. I don't think anybody is ever going to be perfect in communicating.
Yeah, no.
But,
I mean, my half will be perfect because I will say something. Not a lot bothers me, to be honest. There's not a lot that bothers me. So I don't have a lot to communicate on that part. So yeah,
he's so laid back.
I am really laid back, and I had the military thing for that because things were so strict, and I loved it, but I hated it. You know, give you a way to live by. You know, so now as a civilian for the last 4 years or whatever, no.
Or embarrassed. He doesn't get embarrassed.
Mom, you should know I never get embarrassed.
Lisa, if you would know what he did, don't even say it on here because I will pull all your beard. You will not have a beard in the morning. Well, Lisa can vouch for it. You did it for your grandma. If I say anything that I don't want him to repeat, so his grandma got him this shirt years ago, and I didn't like it. So I told him I didn't like it. He went home, and he texted me at 11 o'clock. Can you send me a picture of the shirt that you didn't like? I told my grandma. I'm like, what the hell? And he does it all the time.
Because that's funny. I thought it was funny.
And then there's a guy at the gym, which we're not going to tell this story, that I was talking to him about. We're not even that good of friends with this guy.
We're good friends.
No, well, okay, maybe you're good friends with him. And I said something to him about him that I didn't want brought up because it is a personal thing. I'm telling you, don't say it. I will pull your beard hair and I will shave it off. He comes up to me at the gym and says, "Oh, I asked Dominic this." And I kicked him. That's what he does to me. He embarrasses me.
No, fun doesn't mean things shouldn't bother you. You should just ask yourself, is it something that serious to be bothered about? For instance,
similar in that he doesn't get upset easily, but that means that things should bother me.
No, that's not.
I'm just reading it.
Okay. Just for instance, hang on, I'm gonna get him.
What are you doing, the kids?
No.
Oh. What are you doing? What are you doing? I am nervous. Hold on, Garrett. Oh, why are you putting a hat on?
Do what you... Okay. What, for all... If you guys saw, do it one more time. Okay? She will... No, not prank time, Garrett. Unfortunately. Not right now. Whenever I wear my hat, she will do that to me randomly. And it pisses me off unbelievably. But, okay, I'm addressing... What? I'm addressing someone.
Oh, Fawn.
Fawn. Okay, Fawn, this is me addressing you. Like I said, she will hit my hat. And it will annoy the crap out of me unbelievably. For it's not just for no reason, but it's not for a good enough reason for me to make a blow up and make a stink out of it. It's just she's doing something to be silly, fun, and she knows it annoys me. She knows it annoys me, so she does it. And hi, Karen. And but on the inside, it pisses me off unbelievably.
I did not know it pisses you off.
Yeah, I told you that before. But it's all done in fun. So I let her do her thing, and there's no reason for me to get mad about it. It's the way it is. Like I know it's out of fun, so I have fun with her with it, and whenever she does it,
okay, get a drink.
And so whenever she does it, like I play along with her, and I tell her, like, I swear to Arceus, if she does it again, like I'm gonna pluck her nose hairs or something. I don't know. Karen, you just signed in.
Yeah, she's at the gym. Well, we do have a thing. So I do like to pick on him. I mean, he does stuff to me too.
Yeah.
But I had this thing where I downloaded the flashlight app on my phone, and I pinch his nipples, and I shine the flashlight on him at night. And we agreed I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I stopped. Okay, so hold on. Going up to what
Compromise.
Garrett... Yeah.
I let her flip my hat, and she doesn't pinch my nipples.
Okay, do you two ever compare how you communicate with each other as opposed to each other? This has gotten brought up a few times where one of us will say, how come you talk to your friends differently than me? Not in a flirtatious mode, but the more... Hold on. What?
Do our socks go in the laundry?
No, don't get undressed yet because some of those clothes are going to your dad's. So just wait. I'll come up there in a minute when we're done. Okay. No.
Okay, here's the thing I want to...
This is addressing Garrett's last question.
Okay, Garrett, your question. How you talk to each other will, now and forever, be different how you talk to your friends. It's just the way it is. You, more likely, you've probably known some of your friends longer, like I have known my BFF, Solace. I will forever talk to him differently about anything and everything for the most part.
They're disgusting.
Again, we will talk about everything differently than I will talk to her about. It's just the way it is. Different person,
I think he's meaning the opposite sex.
Are you talking about, Garrett, are you talking about the opposite sex or just friends in general?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because I don't know if you're meaning the opposite sex. If you are let's see when he responds. Thanks, Karen. Awesome, you're at the gym. Okay, so both. Okay, so yeah, when I'm talking to my girlfriends, about like if there's an issue going on. Yeah, I mean, of course I'm going to talk differently.
I don't talk to girls about stuff. I don't have any girls I would talk to. Maybe
right, and I don't.
My mom.
I don't know. I mean, I've gotten like a guy's opinion before, but it's not. I mean, I'm not going to talk to them how I would talk to him. I guess I'm confused because I don't know what you mean about the communication, like just talking. I don't know. Maybe elaborate a little bit more. Like, I don't understand. Like, are you asking them for advice, the opposite sex, or are you just random talk conversations? Side note. I love that the kids are asking about clothes going in the laundry. Well, it's one of their chores around here.
Yeah.
Nicer? What do you mean, Garrett? Okay, so Garrett, I guess I'm confused because I don't know. What do you mean when you're talking with the opposite sex? Okay, let me reiterate. Give me a sec. Okay.
We will give you a second.
Okay. No, just talking randomly. Like, I'm not flirty with other guys because, like, okay, so I used to be very, very flirty with other guys, and I think it's okay to, smile, whatever.
It's okay to be friendly.
Yes, but there are boundaries, and we talked about this on our trust thing. Is this getting blurry again?
No.
Okay. We talked about this on our trust thing. There are boundaries. You should know if your conversation is going too far. If you're doing like sexy heart eyes while you're texting and it's giving you that this person's hitting on me feeling.
And he's sending you a plum that's supposed to be meant as a wiener. That's what it is.
Then yes, it's crossing lines, but you should be able to be friends with the opposite sex. I do firmly believe that, but it also depends. There are certain opposite sex I don't think you should be friends with. For example, if there is a guy who totally wants in my pants and has feelings for me, out of respect to Brandon, I don't think it's appropriate for me to be building a relationship with that. I don't think it's respectful, and I don't think he should do the same. Certain exes, I don't think you should be communicating with because they always want in your pants when they're single. You should not be communicating. If you want to be friends, fine. Talk every once in a while, because one of his good friends, her name's Chelsea, they talk, I don't know how often they talk, but I know they talk a lot. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. He's got another friend, Chelsea, which is like your ex-girlfriend. No, Chelsea Hayden is one we talk to all the time.
Okay,
The other Chelsea is like one of his ex-girlfriends, is like first love. They talk, I don't know how often, but she's married. I don't care. It doesn't bother me because there are boundaries there. But if you know that it's inappropriate, if someone comes to you and says, I think I have feelings for you, you got to nip it in the butt right there, because it is not fair to your significant other to be continuing building a relationship because you don't want to be an asshole. So going on that, look at it like, okay, you don't want to be an asshole to maybe this person that you're talking to, but would you rather be an asshole and hurt the person you're with? The one that you're supposed to be establishing a lifelong relationship with, that you're building long term, that, that's how I view that. Okay, I need to go up and look because I'm getting upset for no reason. Supposedly it takes an attack personally. Hold on. Garrett, are you still typing? It's like when I get home, it's like his tone is a lot different than talking to me at time, meaning like his voice changed. But Karen, what are you guys discussing? Like if you're in an active argument, or you guys have already been heated to where you guys, okay, hold on, Garrett. I want to respond to Karen. So if you're already heated about something, like if I'm in a bad mood talking to him, yes, my voice is going to change when I'm talking to other people because I don't have beef with them. If I've got beef with him, yes, my tone's going to change with him. But if there shouldn't be other tone changes, I guess.
No, talking in general.
Okay, hold on.
So not necessarily argument.
So sometimes when we hang out with friends together, either myself or Karen will start drawing comparisons on how we talk to each other versus how we talk to our friends. Like you're nicer with your friends when you talk to them versus how you talk to... Okay, I'm going to be honest with that, Garrett and Karen, and Brandon can chime in whatever he feels. I think you two are nitpicking, and I think you guys are looking for issues right there.
That's exactly what that is.
Your tones are going to change. You may get a high pitch. You may not have seen somebody in a long time. Like, I know when I don't know if you guys are going to Dave & Buster's on Friday. I think you guys are. I'm probably going to get giddy excited to see all of you guys. I haven't seen you guys in forever. That's okay. It doesn't mean anything. You two are nitpicking, and I'm calling you out on it. Okay, Brandon, if Heather used...
You didn't read Garrett's.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yeah, she said sometimes when we hang out.
Oh, okay.
That's what I read. Okay, so, Brandon, if Heather started using emojis like this to her ex-husband, would you be pissed off? Hold on, I got to take the phone and look. It's smiley faces.
No, because... they get along okay, I guess.
Smiley faces are nothing.
No, but if they were to actually able to get along a lot better than what they do now, it would make things a lot better in our relationship, because she's happier on that end to where she's not dealing with BS with her ex-husband. And so, like, if they're getting along, it's good, because you know what? They're parents to two beautiful boys, that are right upstairs. So if they can be happier, as co-parents, that's the way it needs to be. They need to be able to even go out and hang out with just each other and their boys.
That's not on me, though, and you know that. But hold on one second.
I know. I'm just saying.
Fawn, I am going to get to you, okay? Sorry, I got a message to focus on fun. Sorry, the conversation's going fast.
Angry voice.
But I do not think smiley emojis are bad at all. If they have hearts, if it were reversed, would you be pissed? No, I've seen him send tons of emojis to people of the opposite sex. Now,
I don't have an ex-spouse.
not even an ex-spouse, but an ex-girlfriend, if he's sent heart eyes, like that one heart eye emoji or that's different. Or the kissy. If that goes to anybody of the opposite sex, unless it's like a really good friend.
Yeah, well, like, it also depends on the conversation.
Yeah, it depends on who and what's going on. But ideally, I don't think I've ever seen anything that would bother me with that.
Yeah, like I said, it all depends on the conversation. You got...
Fawn, type what you were saying, Fawn, about ex-spouses, because if I scroll up, I may get lost in this. Is something else. Yeah, she was like...
ex-spouses.
Talking ex-spouse. No, Fawn, what were you saying before?
Yeah, we'll look at it. Yeah, that shifts topics a bit. I don't know what that means. Where's Fawn?
I mean, we can have a
some
topic
racism
about
season.
exes as well. I mean, I'm more than happy to talk about that, because...
Those emojis with blushes is not right.
Hold on, I gotta see this. What is it? Karen, and I love you and Garrett a lot. You guys are good people, awesome people, and I'm so happy that you guys are getting married, but you're nitpicking and you're being silly. Karen, I can tell you from my conversations with Garrett, he is head over heels madly in love with you. You have nothing to worry about, and I guess that's easy for me to say because I've been in that situation, but I think you're nitpicking little stupid things. If you were to look at his phone, or you were to say something and want to look at a conversation and you saw those emojis, what's the conversation like? Is he hitting on them saying, oh, you look so good in those leggings, or something like that? That is grounds to be upset. But just like, hey, I hope you have a great day, smiley face, why get upset about that? That, to me, I would think Garrett is an asshole for not saying something like that. Like, I use emojis all the time, so I guess I don't look at it a different way. But I guess, I don't know, I think you are pretty much on the same page with the emoji thing, right? Like,
Yep. Garrett, if you're fucking doing something, stop. Garrett, if you're doing something wrong, don't fucking do it. But like,
no, he's not.
I don't think so. I mean, not because I'm, I don't know.
And he should be upset if he sees me using those blushes.
Well, then Garrett.
Then Garrett, that's a double fucking standard, and that is unacceptable.
Yeah, but what? Like, I'm curious though. What is the conversation? Like, what's the conversation going on? That's a huge deal. It depends on the conversation. Like, I have no communication with any of my exes. I mean, I'm Facebook friends with some of them, and we've talked every once in a while. But the only one that I have in constant communication with is my ex-husband because of our kids.
I'm sorry,
Missy. Why are you annoyed?
I know because we haven't talked about ex-spouses.
That's something we can talk on a whole different thing because that's a whole nother topic. I think
we're tonight is about communication with the other.
Okay, yeah, Karen.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Communicating with others is, I think it's perfectly fine. It's really going to be case by case and see how things go. Now, I know some people get really upset if they see their significant other hug somebody of the opposite sex. You got to let that go. That is so dumb. Unless it's like an ex-person that is constantly hitting on them, like one of his ex-girlfriends, if she was to come and we saw her somewhere and she was like, oh, let me be all over you, I'd probably punch her in the face. But other than that, it doesn't bother me because I can expect it. I expect friendly without crossing lines. You should know boundaries. Boundaries are huge. If you do not know boundaries in a relationship, you need to look at yourself and think, if my significant other was doing this, would this piss me off? Because I think sometimes with him, and I shared this the other day, I think sometimes he doesn't see that it can be too much because he is a male and he has these blinders. They lead into other. They do. But put yourself in the other person's shoes. If you think is this conversation, could this hurt the person I'm with? Because you have to ultimately decide, do you want to be an asshole to the person you're talking with, or be an asshole to the person you apparently love and want to spend the rest of your life with? So, okay, Missy, you're annoyed about Fawn. I'm really confused. Hold on, I'm going up.
There was some race differences in the community.
What do you mean race differences, Fawn?
I guess people who are
Because
white.
I'm getting upset for no reason. Supposedly Uri takes his attack personally. Hold on. I'm trying to read up. Sorry. Oh, so you bring something up calmly and he gets upset. So Fawn, going back to that, that's something that happened with us. And I, addressed that in the beginning. When I felt I needed to communicate with him, he would get very defensive, and it's really hard. And then sometimes I felt like it would get turned around on me. I think that's part of the communication. And she references X5. Well, we can talk about the X things on another thing, because I know a lot of people have asked me personal questions about. Yes, Caleb?
No.
No, not right now. We're almost done. Because I know a lot of people have asked me questions about, my ex and him kind of being involved in a relationship where there's now kids and an ex. But because my ex and I don't care for each other at all, I think it's not that big of a deal. But anyways, we can talk about that another time. But communication really is the biggest key and foundation to, along with trust, to a good relationship.
The biggest thing to take from this discussion we have had with all of you, see, we have a discussion, no one yelled, no one had an argument, no one's right, no one's wrong.
Oh. Yeah,
How's every American and race
you're right.
plays, big in community styles.
I've gotten a race card at work a few times from receipt checking people. It's race card is stupid. If you're in a relationship and they're using a race card, I don't even know how that works. I don't, but
Yeah, that's something I'm not. Sorry, Fawn.
well, we're white.
Yeah, I don't know how the race thing
Works in
would
an
play,
argument, yeah.
and that
That seems weird. Is it?
I wouldn't think. I mean, maybe she's meaning. No, not
Oh.
using race card, just meaning how
I'm about
he
to
can.
say that's weird. I'm wrong because I'm black. No, okay, all right. I'm sorry.
Plays a big into communication. What do you mean, Fawn? Like, elaborate a little bit on what you like. Can you give an example? Just we communicate differently. Well, everybody.
I say you gotta find a common ground when it comes. Sorry. You gotta find a common ground when you're having a discussion about things, and you gotta have compromise. So.
And I think Fawn, for you, I've known Fawn forever. We used to work together. Okay. She has some muscle. She is a beast. Seriously.
So does that intimidate him?
I don't know. But I think even though it may piss him off, you need to sit down.
We do appear to be white. Yes.
I think Fawn, you need to sit down and be like, look, just lay it all out there and tell him, I don't understand why you get so upset so quick. Even though that'll probably piss him off, because it does with him too, because he probably doesn't realize that he would get so defensive, but he does, and it makes it hard. But you have to just say it and keep repeating it until it gets through his head, as hard as that is. Clearly, obviously, not everybody's going to be able to communicate on the same level. Nobody communicates the same. We don't. I try to remain as calm as possible. Sometimes he starts screaming, and then I start screaming, and then sometimes I will throw something,
I've laughed during arguments, and she yells at me.
Yeah, that has happened. So, but yes, communication is so important, and just know it's not the end of the world, because, and one thing I want to say, and I used to do this a lot in the beginning, the breakup card or the divorce card.
She kicked me out like 2 or 3 times.
I kicked you out when we broke up.
I mean, at the same time, we had an argument, and she's like, out.
I don't remember that. Yeah. I don't think that happened.
Okay.
But I know I brought up we should just break up all the time.
She's the one that always brought up, we should just break up. And then I was like, all right, whatever.
See, and that's the other thing.
I say that because I know it's not what she wants. Because I kind of like ag it on.
Yes!
Doing
Don't
that.
do that!
Because like if she wants to throw out like, oh, let's break up, whatever, I'm done, just do it. I'm like, okay, that's
Which
what you want.
sucks, but
Because it's like I'm calling you out. So
you guys don't throw the breakup divorce card.
That's stupid.
And it is really hurtful.
It's like using it like a trump card. I'm gonna win this damn argument. Boom, break up. Oh no, baby, no, I'm sorry, you're right.
And that's exactly how it would go. Like, you'd be like, why? You don't really want to break up, do you? So just be mindful of that. Communicate every single day. Because honestly, since granted our communication is still not perfect, it has come a long way though. But are
we discussing communication or arguments?
I don't know. Communication. Arguments is another day, but I think it's all tying into one.
It kind of ties into one. And just to add in a little bit, are we going to talk about arguments on a separate note?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, I'll say that.
We'll do arguments another time.
Okay.
Communicate as much as possible with your significant other. And don't ever make them feel bad for wanting to communicate with you, because he will tell me, I'll apologize to him for being like, I'm sorry I vented to you about this, and he will say, don't ever apologize.
No, like I'm here for her to talk to me about her bad day while I was at work. You know, this happened, that happened.
Because he doesn't ever have bad day. It's like he's a robot. That's the problem. Is he's never in a bad mood. Like his bad mood will be like, we had a fucking runner at work today, or. The gym was so packed.
or if I'm trying to catch shiny Pokemon and I accidentally not kill it. I've never killed a shiny. I hope to Arceus that never happens. But I'll be in a huge chain of trying to catch a shiny, and then I'll accidentally kill all the Pokemon in the field, which ruins the chain, and I get started over. That'll be like a bad start or end to my day.
Yeah, but he's never it's not expressive. His is just like a mild, boo-hoo cry. You don't have a shiny carp, Garrett. I have 2 shiny carp.
Just 3.
No, well, one's a Doscaries.
So what?
It's a Gyarados. I don't Garrett, I'm sure you know what I whispered to him.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't. Let's see if he knows. Garrett.
Don't.
Garrett, type in there if you know what she just said to me. Because she thinks you know.
3 shinies.
She has
okay, see? I know he knows.
No, you don't.
Yes, he does. Message it. No, don't. I don't want the whole.
Okay.
I cheat in Pokemon Go.
I wanted him to say it.
He knows I do, right?
I know he knows, but I don't know if he was going to type it. I wanted him.
Poof, guess goes the weasel. Spoof, yeah. Anyways, but now you can't spoof anymore because they did something like you get soft ban. It's bullshit. So whatever. But anyways, I'm gonna end it now because we've been at this for almost an hour and I gotta get my older kids to bed.
Yeah, so like I said, the biggest thing to take about it is do not build up the tension before you decide to communicate with your significant other. It's going to blow things way out of proportion. So communication is key. Something's bothering you or you want to talk about something, talk about it right then and there unless time is a factor, and then wait until the next best time, but do not let things build up.
And then we will go again live Monday. I'm going to make a post Monday morning to see what kind of times work best for people to be on, because he is off Monday and I believe Tuesday. And we're going to talk arguments and relationship goals. Those have been 2 big topics that people keep messaging me about. Those will be our next 2. I don't understand what Missy is going on. I don't understand this.
Missy and Fawn apparently need to have their own discussion.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Okay, but I want you guys to have a good night. Happy... What did you smell me for? Do I smell?
No, I thought I smelled something.
Like what? Your butt?
No, B.O.
Me?
No, it's not you. It came from maybe me. I don't know. Smells
I mean, it's hot. Okay, so we'll see you guys Monday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mommies out there.
Happy Mother's Day for everyone. I'll be calling you. I don't know if my mom's still on.
No, she's probably not.
Well, if you're still on, I'll call you tomorrow.
All right, we will see you guys Monday. Bye, guys.
Bye.